Hiking Steele Peak. Parking is where Steele Peak Drive ends. The location is 5.3 miles from the Interstate 215 and Highway 74 junction in Perris. Aside from Steele Peak, there is a good option to add on another nearby peak. The difficulty rating for the hike is easy to moderate. The hike begins. The hike starts as Steele Peak Drive ends. It quickly enters the hills and goes toward higher ground. The dirt road rises to a point in between Peak 2483 and Steele Peak. Steele Peak comes in view. Approaching Riverside County Road 042. The road is lined by wire to keep vehicles from going off-road. At a pullout on the road, I picked up the Summit Use Trail by crossing over the wires. The trail is faint, but still distinguishable enough to maintain a steady course. It gradually climbs to the shoulder of Steele Peak. Looking down on the gun range, that is usually blasting away on weekends. Because of the gun range activity, it is recommended to come here only on weekdays. Approaching the summit. On this day, the wind kicked in hard as I neared the top. Negotiating the boulders near the top. On the summit of Steele Peak. The Summit 360. Elevation, 2,530 feet. The summit shots. Beginning to return along the same route. The wind blew in my face going down. The trail returns to the dirt pullout on the road. Crossing back over the wire vehicle barricade. Directly across the road, a different road goes toward Peak 2483. Time to cross over the wire and continue forward. Visiting this second peak is, of course, optional. However, it makes a convenient addition to the hike. This is what a rocky road looks like. It rises to a saddle in between the upper and lower points of Peak 2483. I will visit the upper one first. At the saddle and making a left for the high point. Approaching the summit. On the summit of Peak 2483. The Summit 360. A view of Steele Peak. Looking down on the lower summit. Going back to the saddle to then visit the lower summit. The cross marks the lower summit, the visible high point from the city. Carefully working my way to the cross. This spot offers the best views of the day. Worthy of a bonus Summit 360. A dramatic photo opportunity. Returning to the saddle. Then, choosing to return the same way. Rocks moving under my feet as I descend. Better footing back to the junction. Descending to the starting point. Mission accomplished. The hike in review. The hike starts at the end of Steele Peak Drive, where it climbs into the hills. I continued on a faint-use trail to reach Steele Peak. After a quick visit, I dropped back down to begin climbing Peak 2483. Some great views on the twin summits of Peak 2483, which had me return to the start feeling rather satisfied.